We have a public hearing exactly 1 o'clock, so we're going to go ahead and start the prayer.
I'll keep it under 15 minutes.
Okay.
No problem.
You want to come to the podium?
Thank you. Let me go ahead and open in prayer. Father, as well, let me put a pause on this just to lift up prayers for the community of Uvalde, Texas, and what they're experiencing right now in the unraveling of another tragedy. Be with the families that are still waiting for information. Be with the family of the shooter as they are beginning to hear about it. And so, Father, I pray that you would be in the people that are addressing that entire situation, and be with our kids and grandkids as they wind down school. But again, just the fear that that would put into them, and just give them, one, we pray the assurance that you are in charge. And Father, we would draw from you moving ahead, that we would begin to look at our relationship. We look in all sorts of different directions, but often not to you. So Father, this day, in what we can do, Father, we lift prayers for that community and for our community, for our children and grandchildren. And right now, be in this moment, be in this place as they go about your business, that you would guide them, equip them, give them discernment, courage, listening, whatever, Father, you would call them to, so that at the close of this, and safe travels as they leave, but again, that they would be doing your business. Amen.
Thank you very much. So this is May 25th, and now to officially start our meeting, Commissioner Corcoran, you want to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Commissioner, you've got 45 seconds until you can call the public hearing.
I understand.
And start the meeting.
Please.
You can't call the roll until exactly.
I know. Yes, sir.
I just want to make sure we're timed right.
Capitan.
Captain Greg.
Boy, you let him play Tom and he gets bossy, doesn't he?
Day is just
Just want to keep us legal for
like
life.
the same. Need a buzzer.
I got a buzzer. He's right back there.
I got you. 1 minute.
What about those reds?
Speaking of 30, I could share that today is our 30th session.
Today is 30.
30th?
Mm-hmm.
30th?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got you.
Thank you, David. The buzzer went off, Greg. So it is 1 o'clock, and we have a public hearing relative to proposed amendments to the Clermont County Water Management Sediment Control Regulations pursuant to and in compliance with Section 307.79B of the Ohio Revised Code.
Turn it over to Mr. Bruce Crace.
Commissioners,
Morning.
thank you. We're here to discuss the first of two hearings for the proposed changes. Second page. So the purpose of the revisions, recognizing that the best management practices which eliminate or abate soil erosion and degradation of waters of the state from sediment caused by non-farm earth disturbing services. Most of these requirements are a direct result of requirements of the Ohio EPA. So periodically we have to adjust our rules and regulations to make sure we're in adherence with theirs. Number two, eliminating or minimizing downstream flooding, erosion, and sediment damages caused by development and other earth disturbing activities. Three, eliminating or reducing damage to water courses, which may be caused by increases in the volume of the runoff entering the streams or by the sediment and pollutions contained in the stormwater runoff. Item 4, establishing a basis for the design of stormwater management systems in order to protect property owners. Item 5, addressing issues, modifications necessary to bring the regulations into compliance with the Ohio Revised Code and the Ohio EPA rules. Additionally, there's 3 items that were added that non-EPA related. We're proposing to add a requirement that downspouts and sump pump discharges shall be no closer than 5 feet from the adjoining property lines. 2, adds exemptions for on-site detention of storage and treatment that are provided by the regional stormwater management facilities. This will give developers some flexibility. Item 3, adds a maximum slope of 1/6 per 1 foot for detention basin maintenance access easements. Our current regs have none. This was recommended by the engineer's office as well. If we could just, in the interest of time, we have these PowerPoints and regulations available. If anybody has any questions, please reach out to our office. We can flip through those if you would.
Thank you.
Yes.
Any comments? Then I would take a motion to close the public hearing.
Make the motion.
Roll call, Holly?
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes.
Commissioner Bachelor.
Yes. Moving on, item B is approval of regular session minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I will second. Roll call, Holly?
Commissioner Painter.
Yes.
Commissioner Bachelor.
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Item C, public participation. Seeing no one. I'll move on to item D, consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? On roll call, Holly?
Commissioner Painter.
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran. Commissioner Bachelor.
Yes. Should we go through as far as we can get before? Okay. Item E is non-consent. Item 4, it is the recommendation that the Board of County Commissioners adopt resolution number 055-22, resolving to approve payment to vendors in the total amount of $1,694,360.20 as set forth in the BCC approval invoice report for checks dated May 25th, 2022, BCC directed prepaid invoices reports and/or the procurement card transaction report as presented by the county auditor on 5/23/2022, and further authorizing the county auditor to issue warrants for same pursuant to section 319.16 of the Ohio Revised Code. Do I have a motion to approve?
Make the motion.
Second.
Roll call, Holly?
Commissioner Corcoran. Commissioner Painter.
Yes.
Commissioner Bachelor.
Yes. Item 5,
5 is me. It's a recommendation of Jeremy Evans, county engineer, with the concurrence of Thomas J. Eigel, to accept the contract between the county of Clermont and Barrett Paving Materials located in Middletown, Ohio, for the 2021 road resurfacing program in various townships as complete, and to execute payment number 4, which is final, which represents a release of retainage from People's Bank in the amount of $141,827.96 plus interest accrued.
So moved.
do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Bachelor.
Yes. Lyle?
Item 6 is a recommendation to execute a contract for professional services between Clermont County and Geotechnology LLC out of St. Louis, Missouri, relative to the geotechnical services for various water and sewer capital improvement projects located in Clermont County in accordance with the consultant's proposal dated March 9th, 2022, and a total amount not to exceed $100,000 effective upon board approval, and shall remain in effect for a period of 2 years with the option to renew for an additional 2-year period pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions set forth therein and contingent upon release of the purchase orders.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 6. Do I have a motion to approve?
Make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes. Number 7.
Item number 7 is a recommendation to approve the request to advertise for bids for sludge and raw wastewater hauling services for the Clermont County Water Resources Department pursuant to the specifications, and to authorize the clerk of the board to place a legal notice in a newspaper of general circulation on Thursday, June 2nd, 2022. Schedule a non-mandatory pre-bid meeting on Thursday, June 9th, 2022 at 10 a.m. local time at the Clermont County Water Resources Department, 4400 Haskell Lane, and with bids received until 2:00 p.m. local time on Thursday, June 23rd, 2022, here in the Office of Board of County Commissioners, 101 East Main Street, Batavia. Will it be publicly open and read aloud shortly thereafter, and the legal notice will also be posted on the county's website.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 7. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes.
Item 8 is a recommendation to approve the request to advertise for bids for maintenance and repair of the water and/or wastewater systems and appurtenances pursuant to the specifications, and to authorize the clerk of the board to place a legal notice in a newspaper of general circulation on Thursday, June 2nd, 2022. Schedule the non-mandatory pre-bid meeting on Thursday, June 16th, 2022 at 10 a.m. local time at the Clermont County Water Resources Department, with bids to be received until 2:00 p.m. local time on Thursday, June 30th, 2022, here in the Office of the Board of County Commissioners, 101 East Main Street, Batavia. They will be publicly open and read aloud shortly thereafter, and this legal notice will also be posted on the county's website.
Thank you. Board, you've heard the reading of item number 8. Do I have a motion to approve?
Make the motion.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Angie.
Item number 9 is a recommendation of Thomas J. Eigel to execute the extension of contract for services with Greater Cincinnati Behavioral Health Services, Inc. in Cincinnati, Ohio, for the operation of a Community Alternative Sentencing Center CASC for Clermont County pursuant to Section 307.932 of the Ohio Revised Code, previously ratified by the Board of Commissioners on 5/30/18 and extended for an additional 1-year term on 5/29/19, 5/27/20, and 5/26/21, which represents the 4th and final 1-year renewal option pursuant to Section 3 of the aforestated contract for services in an amount not to exceed $665,228 effective for the period of June 3rd, 2022 through June 2nd, 2023, with all other terms and conditions of the referenced contract for services to remain in full force and effect as defined therein, as well as the inclusion of a termination clause in and as it relates to the receipt of state opioid response, SOAR, local projects funding from the Clermont County Mental Health and Recovery Board, and contingent upon the receipt of a current certificate of liability insurance, Ohio Bureau of Workers' Compensation certificate, and the purchase order required therefore.
Thank you. Board, you've heard the reading of item number 9. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes. Number 10.
Items number 10 and 11 actually refer to the land bank, which the board has previously designated the future land bank as their land reutilization corporation for the county.
You can't talk either,
I
can
can't
you?
talk either. As such, 2 county commissioners are required to serve on that board. So we have items 10 and 11, which require a nomination from the floor of commissioners to serve on this board.
Commissioner Batchelor, at this time, I'd like to make a motion to table item 10 and item 11 for further review.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call? Or
Commissioner.
do we have
Corcoran?
discussion? I'm sorry, Holly.
Sorry.
No, I interrupted you. Any discussion on this? Okay, now, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Painter.
Before we vote on that, are we tabling it to a time certain, or what was the motion for? The motion is
I was
to,
just to table it for further review. I did not set a time on it. I like to see when Mr. Eigel gets back also. like some time to consult with him also and with economic development. So I don't know how long that would take.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I was just checking. Sure.
That's fine.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
And Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes, thank you. Emily, number 12.
I have a recommendation of Mary Raines, Director of Office Management and Budget, to resolve to approve and authorize changes in the annual appropriation, resolution number 187-21. This is 3 supplemental appropriations. One is for probation improvement grant for $8,437 to the regular salaries. Another probation improvement grant for the fringe benefits for $2,481. And then the General Fund Bureau of Inspection Audit for $1,750.
Board, you've heard the reading. Item number 12. Motion to approve.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes, thank you, Emily. At this time, we do have another engagement we have to be at 1:30. So at this time, I'd like to take a motion to suspend this meeting, pick it back up at 2 o'clock.
I'll make a motion to recess this meeting
Is that
until,
going to give you enough time to do and get back to here?
Maybe we should do it at,
I'll make a motion to recess until 2:33,
yeah, 2:30
2:30.
probably.
2:30.
I'll second your motion.
Roll call, Holly?
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran, Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes. Thank you. We'll be back at 2:30. Good afternoon. We are back. It is 2:30 and we will resume our meeting. Next item on the agenda. You want to do the add-ons?
The add-ons.
Okay.
So we have several add-ons for your consideration. So I like to kind of take them in groups. But first, what I'd like to do is, if you recall, we have an item on the table from April 20th, 2022. I'd like a motion to bring that off of the table.
In what is the item?
This was the item about the credit card policy for the county, from the county auditor.
Which one?
You're not, this is still sitting on the table from April. So I
And
want to bring it off the table.
bring it off the table?
Okay, do we
So,
have
so moved.
I'll second that.
roll call, please?
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor. I'm sorry, Commissioner Corcoran,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so this item was tabled actually at the request of the auditor. There was a modification of our credit card policy that at the last second they found some issues with it. So what I would like to do is either have the board vote on taking action on it, hopefully to get it away, get away from it. I do have a modified version that would be another add-on should this item either not receive a second, so it would die for lack of a second, or it just plain gets turned down.
Is that something that we have to vote on that today then? I haven't reviewed that.
Right. Well, I've got the new one for you right here to talk about. One change.
Okay. All right.
So pleasure is we either have a motion to take action on this and no second, and it dies and goes away, and I have a new add-on for you.
Why are we taking it off?
What's that?
Why would it be taken off?
Because the modifications in that are not what the auditor wanted to put forward after they researched their issue.
Okay, so,
So this was a credit card policy
yes, yeah.
that a change to the way the procurement cards are used, and that was not sufficient enough to do what it was intended to do. That's why it was tabled for more research.
Right.
But you have that item on the table that we
We
have to take.
corrected that then.
It has been, yes, and I have an add-on for that
Okay.
if the board so chooses. So the question
It
is,
doesn't like include tip amount and all that kind of stuff. Am I talking about the same thing here or not? This
no.
is just his hidden.
No, this is just number of transactions. The tip amount, I believe, is something different.
Would you like me to read the one that was tabled? Would that be helpful?
That would be
Yeah,
helpful.
that would be thank you.
Okay. On April 20th, 2022, the board tabled the following motion. This was the recommendation of Linda Fraley, County Auditor, with the concurrence of Thomas J. Eigel, County Administrator, to approve the Third Amendment to the Clermont County Procurement Card Policy and Procedures, previously ratified by the Board of County Commissioners on June 22nd, 2005, and subsequently amended on March 28th, 2007, and September 24th, 2014, for additions and/or modifications thereto, as defined therein, and as summarized below, pursuant to Section 301.29C1 of the Ohio Revised Code, and to authorize the implementation thereof effective upon approval, with all other provisions of the policy to remain in full force and effect. The addition or modification that was in the summary table includes the language, page 4 and paragraph 5, that permits daily or monthly number of transactions per card limits to be exceeded on a temporary basis if an extraordinary circumstance exists. The request must be made in advance to the county auditor's office and specify the reason and time frame for the temporary increase.
So to get it,
yeah,
so to
yeah.
get it out on the table so we can discuss it, vote it yes or vote it no, to move
Right.
on to the other, you would have to have a recommendation of a motion for
Right.
that.
Right.
We already did that. We actually, Commissioner Painter, you made the motion and Commissioner Corcoran seconded that item number 13 from the April 20th agenda be removed from the table.
Right. So now you need a motion per what you just read to put it back on the table.
I need a motion to go forward with this agenda item.
So moved.
Then I'll second.
There you go. Now,
Commissioner Painter, I'm sorry,
open for discussion.
open for discussion.
So this particular motion that's on the table right now that was previously tabled on 420.
Right.
Is not a motion that you are for. Your recommendation is
Recommending-
that we vote
Correct.
no for this motion.
Correct. And then I have an add-on.
And then you have a
substitute.
replacement motion.
Correct.
Okay.
Commissioner Painter?
No.
Commissioner Corcoran?
No.
Commissioner Batchelor?
No.
Thank you.
That clarified it.
Okay, now I'll move on with additions to the agenda. I have for your consideration to add on to the agenda a recommendation of Linda Fraley, County Auditor, a third amendment to the county procurement card policy and procedures.
So move.
I'll second.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor,
Yes.
Okay. So recommendation of Linda Fraley, County Auditor with concurrence of Thomas J. Eigel, County Administrator, to approve the third amendment to the county procurement card policy and procedures previously ratified by the Board of County Commissioners on 6/22/05 and subsequently amended on 3/28/07, 9/24/14 for additions and or modifications attached thereto pursuant to section 301.29 C1 of the Ohio Revised Code, and authorize the implementation thereof effective upon approval with all provisions of the policy to remain in full force and effect.
Okay.
Motion,
Need a
and
motion?
then we can discuss.
So move.
I'll second.
Discussion.
Okay, so what this change was, so this stems from certain issues where we have just an example, let's say the sheriff's office, if they have to do an extradition, for example, they were running into trouble. It's cheaper for the county to actually go get the prisoner and bring them back versus paying a service. So their procurement cards are running into issues when you're, say, traveling to New York or it's in coming back. So the limits were being hit. So what this does is it does a couple things. It increases the daily and monthly number of transactions. It adds language about requisitions that they have to get. And then it also adds information about if, for example, the invoice processing, we've changed the way we process our invoices. So that's been updated and incorporated into this. And that really is the gist of the change. But this does satisfy what the original intent of the first item was to do.
Was really just to give more flexibility.
Exactly.
So that they could actually use this card
Correct.
to get from A to
Correct.
B.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
So this just, and it doesn't change the limits in terms of the overall spending. It doesn't change any of the required receipts. It still allows for the verification. So it's not like someone's gonna be able to use this card for potential theft. All those controls are still in place. If even more so, they are expanded and it's more protection of the procurement cards
Okay, sounds good. So we need a motion to
to approve, which
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
roll call. Holly?
Commissioner Corcoran, Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes.
okay, we're gonna go on. I just want to separate those. So we have a couple other additions to consider for the agenda. The next two are add-ons from the Department of Community Economic Development relative to the Strengthening Community Colleges Training Grant. Number one is the letter of support, and number two is the actual application. So I'd like the motion to add those two items to the agenda.
So move.
Do I have a
I'll
second?
second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes.
And Scott Gafford's here from our Economic Development Division to discuss this. I believe he's provided the board members information previously about this particular program. So he's here today to explain it in more detail.
So essentially, I guess I'll go through the item one first. It's a recommendation of Michael McNamara, Director, Department of Community and Economic Development, with the concurrence of Greg Bickford, Assistant County Administrator, that the Board of County Commissioners execute a letter of support relative to the Department of Labor's Strengthening Community Colleges Training Grant Program application. This is to be submitted by the University of Cincinnati for and on behalf of the partner institutions, including the Clermont County Board of County Commissioners, the Department of Community and Economic Development, UC Clermont, UC Blue Ash, Cincinnati State Community and Technical College, Southern State Community College, Brown and Clermont Adult Education Campuses, and Grant Career Center for funding to establish the Southwest Ohio Career Navigation Consortium, which will seek to provide career navigation assistance to underserved post-secondary student populations, develop new streamlined programs in targeted industry sectors and network across the partner institutions, and provide wraparound services to students in need. So essentially, the program is two-pronged, has two initiatives that we're after, or that the Department of Labor would like us to go after. One is increasing accessibility to underserved or underrepresented populations to access to education in community colleges in specific. And the second is to streamline and position their curriculum on a regional basis towards targeted industries. And those targeted industries are healthcare, IT, let me see what that is, engineering, and advanced manufacturing. So we kind of see those as the industries of tomorrow. So this will help reposition our workforce towards those industries.
So we need a motion to add this on.
So moved.
You want to do them separately?
Well, they're already added.
Oh,
So this
okay.
is the actual motions that,
Okay,
so this,
sorry.
the first one that he read is for the letter of support. So that's what this particular
David
motion is.
made the motion.
I'll second that.
Roll call, Holly?
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes.
All right. The second one is a recommendation of Michael McNamara, Director of Department of Community and Economic Development, with the concurrence of Greg Bickford, Assistant County Administrator, resolving to adopt resolution number 056-22, authorizing the approval and execution of the consortium partnership agreement between the Clermont County Board of Commissioners, the Department of Community and Economic Development, UC Clermont and Blue Ash campuses, Cincinnati State Community and Technical College, Southern State Community College, Brown and Clermont Adult Education campuses, and Grant Career Center relative to the Department of Labor Strengthening Community Colleges Training Grant Program application for funding to establish the Southwest Ohio Career Navigation Consortium, which will seek to provide career navigation assistance to underserved post-secondary student populations, develop new streamlined programs in targeted industry sectors, and provide wraparound services to students in need. So this is, as part of the grant application, they are requiring us to provide documentation of commitment from each member institution that convincingly demonstrates their engagement with the aspect of the project for which they are responsible. And that's quoted from the application information document.
I have a motion to approve.
I will make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, Holly?
Commissioner Corcoran,
Yes.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Scott.
And I have one more add-on for your consideration. That would be
Okay,
an add-on for executive session pursuant to section 121.22G1 of the Ohio Revised Code to consider the employment or compensation of a public employee in addition to what is already on the agenda.
okay. Do I have a motion to add that?
So moved.
I'll second.
Roll call, Holly?
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes. Okay. So can I just say H then, that we could go through and get that off? We don't have any staff here to speak.
The only staff that wants to speak would be me.
You want to speak?
If you recall, if you want, if that's what you want.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's do
If you
that.
recall back, I think it was earlier this year, we had talked to County Engineer Jeremy Evans, came in and talked about the various projects in the Eastgate area. And if you recall at the time that the board agreed to fund the Eichholz Road roundabout project. At the same time, we also talked about the Buxton roundabout project, which will pick up where the overpass, which is now under construction, ends. At the time, we had talked about it's approximately a $1.5 million project, and we were hoping to split it three ways between the county, the township, and then the property owner on that east side. Well, so fast forward, the development on the township side is about to take place. It's mixed use apartments, some commercial on the old Glen Estee High School, I believe it is there. So this roundabout is at provisional living. Well, the township is in the process of committing funds to that. They've identified that the property owner is in the process of committing funds. So I'm looking for just a motion for the board that we will agree that if everybody else commits their funds, to make it official that we will commit about $500,000 to the project. And so I'm looking for a motion from the board so I can pass that forward, just to know that the county is in favor of completing this project.
What was our original amount? Do you know?
1.5 million. It has it.
Well, it's still that.
It is, and it may go up. It may be $500,000. It may be less. It may be slightly more. The county engineer is looking for additional funding to cover any overages. Obviously, with construction costs going up, right-of-way costs going up, that number may come in higher. But our commitment is going to be about $500,000.
Okay.
And I would propose that we use ARPA funds for this, since we do have some of that left in road projects.
In the road project. Then. Okay.
Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
I'm sorry, would we need to add that on first, Greg?
That is correct. Yes, we would have to have an add-on
I'll make a
for
motion
submitting
now.
those.
Thank
funds.
you.
Are you looking for an add-on to approve this money right now? Or are you just looking for a recommendation by the board that we will support it?
Yeah, recommendation that we will support it, just to formalize that, I think.
But we have to add
appropriate.
it on first.
We do. Yeah, we don't have an exact amount, but I just wanted on the record that the
Sure.
county has committed our part of it, and the other organizations are doing the same. So it's just that next step. That way the county engineer can move forward with engineering.
So Claire made the motion. Do I have a-
Second.
Okay. Roll call, Holly?
Commissioner Corcoran,
Yes.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes. Thank you.
That's that. And this is the last piece to that whole area. So this will be really moving it forward as it moves forward.
We did the motion to add on. Did you want to present a motion for the board to actually do this now that we've
Great
added it
idea.
on?
That's right.
Let's hear it.
Like a motion for the county to commit ARPA funds in the amount approximately $500,000 for the Buxton roundabout project to be completed by the Clermont County TID.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes. Okay,
That's it.
thanks. Okay, item G is an executive session pursuant to section 12122G1 and G2 of the Ohio Revised Code to 1, consider the employment or compensation of a public employee, and 2, consider the purchase of property for public purposes if premature disclosure of information would give an unfair competitive or bargaining advantage to a person whose personal private interest is adverse to the general public interest, respectfully. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Okay, I'll second.
Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes. Okay, we now are going into executive session.
Can I find
We have returned from executive session. No decisions were made. And the only thing left I see on the agenda is members' comments. Ms. Corcoran?
How about some comments about that baby box down in Union Township?
I have the comments or you do?
Go ahead.
No, you
ahead.
go right ahead.
No, I just know that, we paused this meeting. We had quite an intermission in there. And the reason was the commissioners felt that it was imperative that we support an effort here in Clermont County that's being spearheaded by Union Township to install a baby box. And I'll let one of you explain what a baby box is and how that works.
Go ahead.
Well, as we were told by the founder of this, it numbers 108, I think, that has been installed. And it is a box. It looks like an incubator to me in the side of the firehouse. It's a safety. If someone wants to give up their baby, they can safely go there. They can put that baby in this. It's not really just a box. But it also sounds an alarm when that door is shut then, that someone knows that an infant has been placed in this box, and it's a safe way to safely put that baby in there and know that it's going to be okay. And the founder, the reason she was a victim as a baby of being left. So it's just fascinating to me that someone could do this and get this started. And what'd she say, in the last 6 months, or they've had 4 babies relinquished in Indiana at the same firehouse. So,
Which is where she's from.
Right.
Was it Woodward?
yeah,
Indiana,
I think
she said?
something like that. She
Yeah.
was a paramedic firefighter there. So,
And
it's-
her husband is the mayor.
so therefore they got the first one installed. So it's just a great thing. It's a great thing.
And I think one of the things was it's total anonymity,
Mhm.
and that there's a law that protects that person, even though they're giving up a child into a safe configuration, that they have complete anonymity. It's, what did she say? No name, no blame.
No shame.
Yeah, no shame.
No harm, no shame.
But at least you don't, I mean, it's a place where you know a child is not going to be abandoned or, God forbid, killed or whatever, so.
And the inside, the whole thing is all like plexiglass enclosed that the firehouse people can see and the police can see. Somebody's placed a child in there once the silent alarms go on. And it's really neat that at least somebody who's in desperate need of needing help to take care of their child. How are they going to go all the way downtown to Cincinnati to one of the hospitals, even our local hospital here? They know a safe place, and people who care and save lives are at your fire and your police stations. And this allows them to do that.
Instead of putting them in a dumpster somewhere,
Yeah.
God forbid.
And as county commissioners, our hats off to Union Township trustees, all 3 of them today, who supported and have their administration, their police, and their fire chief work so hard to get this accomplished. I'd love to see a lot more of them in almost every fire department we possibly could, or police station. What was it, $5,200? But then there's,
Then there's a fee, a monthly fee
Yeah.
for,
but it's,
monitoring
yeah,
the
and-
door alarm.
yeah, and it's all controlled, environmentally controlled for the child, and looked very comfortable. And no, I did not want to get in it and test it out.
I still think you would fit.
I know. Well, I was not the volunteer today. That's all I have to say.
And to mention them by name, I mean, my hat's off to, Mr. Logue and Mr. Becker and
Mr. Dills, yes,
Mr. Dills for taking the initiative to do that.
Absolutely.
very much.
I think they tried to be the first one, but they ended up being the second. So that's pretty,
It's all right. We
Yeah.
have it in Clermont County, and we're proud of
you
it.
bet.
But I agree with you. I hope there are more around the county
I do too.
that will go in.
Right.
And can we just mention Willowville?
Oh,
School
my
this
goodness, how could we
morning.
forget them?
Absolutely.
In case anybody's wondering why we're in our red, white, and blue, it was the Memorial Day parade at Willowville School. It's the first time I got to go there. Claire, you and David know more about it than I do, but It's to honor the veterans and to see all those little kids after the horrible thing that happened in Texas yesterday, to see all these beautiful children marching around there with their flags. And at the end, the veterans, there was quite a few there that stood up and were recognized.
And I mean, it sends a message that maybe we don't hear enough in America. I mean, it sends a message about patriotic songs, and it says a message about an entire school system and a faculty standing up and saying the Pledge of Allegiance. And the Pledge of Allegiance wasn't modified.
Yeah.
You know, it mentioned our Creator in that pledge, and you know, that is just something that, you know, it touches you deep when you see that all is not lost in America.
Yeah.
There are places, you know, here and especially in Clermont County where those things are still held in high value.
And
That's great.
it definitely was a true display of love of country and every child standing up and singing. But I will say that Yankee Doodle Dandy was a favorite song today.
That's good.
It was
Very good.
great.
Yep.
It was great.
We thank you all who
So-
served, and as Memorial Day is coming.
So that's why our meeting was put off till 1 today, so that we could all go up there and celebrate with them.
It was great.
So nothing else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I will second.
Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor,
Yes. Thank you all.